På länk ska vi nu ha med oss Victoire Viannay, VD på Fluicell. Good afternoon, Victoire.
Good afternoon.
Nice to see you.
Yes.
Fluicell är verksamt inom bioanalys och bioprinting. Den här presentationen kommer att hållas på engelska. Men om ni har frågor så kan ni ställa dem på svenska eller engelska, så ska vi översätta efter bästa förmåga. Victoire, please take us through your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy today to present you Fluicell, which is, to my point of view, a fantastic company with a huge potential. So I will open this presentation by quoting a business genius who once said, "Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything." So Fluicell is still a small company, but we believe in the potential of our revolutionary single-cell product led by our bioprinting platform, and I am convinced that we will change something that matters. Sorry, I'm trying to, yes. So our vision is to transform therapeutics and drug discovery through enabling technologies. We will meet this vision by continuing to develop new technologies that matter to patients and doing bioprinting breakthrough in regenerative medicine and precision medicine. So Fluicell is a fast-growing company. On this slide, you can see some example of what has happened so far from the time the company was founded upon the first product called BioPen until now. So all these chosen dates are important milestones. So this is the IPO resulting in the listing on Nasdaq First North Growth Market in 2018. It's the long-term strategy focusing on single-cell product, which we put in place in 2017. It's the effort we put into growing a strong IP portfolio, which is currently comprised of 20 approved patents and several ongoing patent applications, which give us freedom to operate and the ability to comfortably develop more product. It's also the strong marketing and sales strategy, which we develop and start to work. And despite the challenging year 2020, Fluicell is about to achieve its best year ever with an increased revenue, a strong publication in a scientific journal, and a European Union grant award. So we currently have 3 market products plus a 4th one to come in Q1 2021, which is called Biozone 6, which is more directly targeting the pharmacology. So our products are highly specialized tools for detailed studies of individual cells, all of them targeting fast-growing markets. BioPen and DynaFlow have no direct competitors. BioPen is used to precise delivery of drug candidates to single cells. It has been mostly adopted by universities and research institutes. DynaFlow Resolve is an ion channel screening platform for single-cell patch clamp analysis. It is a product which has been mostly adopted by pharma companies and has already been involved in the development of a lot of drugs. BioPixlar is a high-resolution 3D single-cell bioprinting platform launched in November 2019, targeting a broad and very fast-growing market. In addition, we offer services and application support. So as I was saying about BioPixlar, this is our latest launch product in 2019. BioPixlar is a completely new and revolutionary type of single-cell 3D bioprinting platform that offers high precision, high resolution, that prints sensitive cells with high viability and mimic cellular architecture. And the bioprinting roadmap stated that the bioprinting field needs to move more and more towards using cells as building blocks in printed biological tissue and disease model. And this is exactly what we do with BioPixlar, building cell by cell like a Lego in order to achieve a functional resemblance with human tissue. So on this slide, you can see example of printed tissue with BioPixlar. In our opinion, BioPixlar outcompete other technologies. This technology offers the greatest potential to advance the bioprinting field and the 3D cell culture field by rapidly generating physiologically relevant tissue and organ models. Our approach to bioprinting is critical to understanding the relation between tissue structure and function, cell-to-cell communication, and role of cellular microenvironments. So despite the COVID-19 crisis, Fluicell is having a very positive year. We see a growing interest for our product in general and for BioPixlar in particular. BioPixlar is more than an instrument. It is fully scalable and the start of something much bigger for Fluicell through the huge opportunities and ideas we have for future products. Recently, we published an important article in Nature Scientific Reports, which is a scientific validation for BioPixlar and this new way of bioprinting, and will create awareness within the scientific community. We've also participated in a joint European Union Horizon 2020 grant, where BioPixlar will play a central role and for which we will be allocated 5.2 million SEK. And this is a European Union validation. During the first half of the year, conferences were shut down because of the pandemic, but they have restarted virtually now. BioPixlar has been presented during several conferences and events since September and have received extremely positive reaction from researchers, leading to many ongoing dialogues. This year, we have sold our first system in March. We have performed service work using the BioPixlar technology, and recently we have signed our first leasing agreement for BioPixlar. So we are convinced that BioPixlar will eventually be our best-selling product. And in the meantime, we have other products to support the growth of the company. So we are addressing a global market. Our customer distribution is mostly in the USA and in Europe, but we start to see growing interest in other parts of the world, specifically in Australia and in China. We are selling either directly or through distributors. In some countries such as China, distributorship is mandatory. This year, we have signed additional several distribution agreements to cover the territory of Australia, of New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. And this morning, we have announced the signing of a new distribution agreement in China. Also, we have been setting up several demo sites all over the world for customers to try our technologies. So on this slide, you can see that we have very reputable clients who have been adopting our technologies. So our clients are in academia and research institute for 70% of them, and in pharma companies, contract research organization and biotech for 30% of them. A lot of these clients are key opinion leaders who trust our product and have been publishing a lot of scientific papers using our instruments. And this is very important to say because scientists in the academia and in the research and development are reading these articles, and this is creating trust and awareness for our product. So Fluicell has shaped a business model that generates revenue stream from recurring orders of consumable, from instrumentation, and additionally from support services. The sales are executed directly to end users and additionally through a distributor network. The margin for our product is around 60% and the price for the services is per man hour. Fluicell sales functions are held in-house and have been significantly strengthened since 2019. The sales team have a good sales strategy, resulting in a consistent increase of the sales pipeline. Internally, we know our product very well, how to position them, and how to reply accurately to scientific questions, which are sometimes very specific. So currently, most of the sales are still handled directly, but we are expanding our network of distributors whom we are supporting constantly. So as I was explaining in the beginning of this presentation, Fluicell has grown and matured a lot since its launch, and especially since 2015, going from being a single product company to a global multi-product company targeting a high-value market. However, as a true innovation company, we don't want to stop there. Our technology has some unique features in the regenerative medicine space, and we think that we have the potential to create a new market segment within the huge market of regenerative medicine, and this is the plan that we will follow going forward. So since the IPO, our average of increase is about 100% per year. It is true to say that the global pandemic has been affecting us, like many others, because a lot of universities have closed during a big part of the year, and some sales processes have been postponed, creating delays. But despite these challenges, Fluicell is about to achieve its best year ever. At Fluicell, we are not afraid of challenges and adapt very fast to new situations. We have been working since March to overcome this issue by putting in place a full sale process, which can be done online, installation included. And the total announced revenue so far is about 9.5 million SEK, which represent the known purchase order and grant awarded. So taken as a whole, we see 2020 as a highly successful year for us. Through the progress that we have made and through the ongoing advancement of BioPixlar, Fluicell is today a company with an enormous potential to impact the life of patients all over the world. So we are striving to be a global biotech leader with numerous high standard products and services, having a constant business growth, targeting high value markets, becoming cash flow positive, and to grow the earning per share. We will get there by executing on sales, but not only. We are relying on our endless capacity to be innovative and launch new products targeting new areas. So in summary of this presentation, I would like to say that we are ticking all the boxes for profitable long-term growth. Over the years, we have been putting in place strong foundation on which the company will grow, and I really believe that Fluicell will have a key role to play. Thank you very much.
A question here connected to one of your last points, and that's connected to the pandemic. You said yourself that you had a strong growth despite the pandemic.
Yeah.
So this question is this, how shall we interpret this? Are you immune to pandemic and the pandemics as it were, or indeed should you have had an even better growth should we not have had the pandemic?
So that's a good question. So we are not immune to the pandemic like anybody else. But I think what we are benefiting from is, first of all, I mean, we have put, as I said, very strong foundation in place, and we have been working a lot, and we have started to see a huge increase of our revenue already in Q4 2019. So I think it was also the continuity of all this effort we have put in place. However, I am convinced that if there hasn't been the pandemic, we would have had even a better year than what we have, because even if we have a lot of interest for our product, as I was saying, a lot of universities were closed, so it was difficult to talk to customer, or even if they wanted to talk, a lot of administration were closed. So it has been creating a lot of delays in our sales process. But we see also that the sales pipeline continue to increase, and especially since September, where a lot of things are reopened, we see that there is really a growing interest for our product, and the sales team is in constant dialogue, and every week many dialogues. So we see something really positive happening for us.
So it would be fair to say that there is a pent-up demand, really, and all things equal here, we could expect, well, more or less more positive news in that respect.
Yeah, that's what we believe. Lately, we have been announcing a lot of very, very positive news by press release. I think we have done maybe 7 press releases in the past 2 or 3 weeks. And this is, again, the result of all this hard work, which has been done by all the team at Fluicell, the sales team, but not only, also the R&D team. We are all supporting for this growth to happen. So we really hope that in 2021, we will continue to see this increase going, and that's what we believe will happen.
Excellent. And you mentioned that you had ongoing dialogues on BioPixlar. Could you elaborate a little bit on that? Perhaps there is a timetable, or perhaps you can say nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit complicated to say, because I have to, of course, I mean, as a publicly traded company, there is many things that I don't have the right to say. But what I can tell you is that when we present BioPixlar to researchers, it's creating a lot of questions, a lot of curiosity, and people are extremely amazed by this new way of bioprinting that they have never seen before. So this is indeed leading to a lot of questions, a lot of additional presentations, and a lot of questions from researchers wondering, is it going to work for me? Is it going to work for my research? So that's where we are today. And we really believe that BioPixlar is something different. And this is really the message that we are conveying right now to researchers, and we are really trying to present it as much as possible in order to create awareness, because sales processes are long in science, and it is by constantly repeating, presenting, that we will get there and make this product become famous.
Okay, excellent. What is the size of the market in 2025, do you think? And would you be able to, I mean, prolong the estimates? And would you dare to put down a percentage of Fluicell's market share?
So what we are doing, so we have, for the moment, what we have been targeting is single cell. So with our single cell investigation tool, and we know that single cell analysis is the most important innovation in the next decade for the healthcare industry. So this is representing a huge market, which we are targeting already, and we really believe that we have a chance to capture a big part of this market, because with our instrument, and not just only BioPixlar, I'm talking about all the instruments we have. We have unique selling points, and those selling points are meeting the need to innovate and establish technology for the investigation of cell response and behavior in their normal native environment. And this is what we do, and this is what is important in the next decade to come. And we know that another way of growing is to enter this area of regenerative medicine and biointegration, for which BioPixlar will allow us to do. So basically by 2025, and if we manage to do everything we have in the head and we want to do as an innovative company, we have a huge chance to capture a huge part of the market and be a completely different company that will be very important.
And you refer to your unique selling points.
Yeah.
So obviously I have one question here regarding one of your competitors, but let me just package that question and then just say, what is the competition like? Is it the major pharma, or is it smaller companies? and where would you see the development going forward? Your unique selling point underlines that. I would take it.
Okay, so for some of our product, we don't have any direct competition. So for BioPen and Dynaflow, as I was saying, for BioPixlar, the bioprinting market is there is a lot of companies who are selling bioprinters. However, absolutely none of them are offering the same kind of technology of what BioPixlar is offering. And this is our unique selling point. We have developed a new way of doing bioprinting, and we really believe that we can create a new market segment within the bioprinting area.
And I have one question here regarding BioPixlar, and the question is connected to the sales. It's been out for a month, and apparently it could have been, well, I think the shareholder at least would have hoped it to be selling more. What is the process and lead times here?
So it was launched indeed. It was launched a year ago, BioPixlar. It was launched so in November 2019. So a sales process in life science is long. So this is something we know. This is something we have always been saying. A sales process is typically between 12 and 18 months. So this is nothing which is out of the ordinary. And with the pandemic, of course, as I was saying, this has been creating delays with more complication to reach out customer worldwide, and sell process which are slower than usual. But however, we already have been selling one full instrument in New Zealand, which has been installed online by online process in September. We already have been doing CRO work for a pharma company in Sweden with the BioPixlar technology. And we have signed a leasing agreement very recently with a university in Oregon with a key opinion leader in the bioprinting sector. And this is one of the things we have been doing to overcome this problem of the pandemic, is that we have been starting to develop a system of leasing agreement. So we can basically send our BioPixlar to people who want to try it and maybe keep it if they are satisfied with it. So I don't see that as I know that people would like us to sell this instrument from day one every month, but we have to be, I mean, this is not what is happening in life science. It takes time, and our BioPixlar is sold as almost 1 million SEK. So people need to have a budget for it. So typically it's taking time for that.
Yeah, makes sense what you're saying. Coming back to your client base here, you signed one platform in New Zealand, and you're referring to Sweden and Oregon, which is an interesting trip around the globe. How do you find your clients, or do the clients find you?
Both, actually. We find the clients, the sales team is extremely persistent, and they have a sales process to target the right customer. We also, of course, present our product through events and conferences. This is very important. This was one of the problems this year, because a lot of conferences, when the pandemic started, were cancelled, shut down, because typically a conference, you go on site and you present your product. But also we have more and more clients who come to us directly. So we receive more and more inbound inquiries from people saying, I've heard about your product. Please, I'm interested to have a presentation. Can I have a quotation? So this is going in both ways. And also we have a lot of distributors. So this is important, because distributors, they have their entry in their territory. And where in Europe for us it's maybe easy to reach out clients, but in some other part of the world it's more complicated. Also with huge time difference. For example, in Australia, in New Zealand, but also on the West Coast in the US. So we are not only selling ourselves, but we are helped by distributor whom we are supporting all the time because we are in dialogue with them also weekly.
And as you mentioned here, and we had a trip around the globe here, I have a question here. Could you elaborate a little bit more about the market in China and in Asia, and that will be Australia as well? And how important would those markets be for you?
So in China, we have now 3 distributors, and this is mandatory. China, you don't have the right as a foreign company to sell directly in the land of China. So you need to go through signing a distributor with whom you have to build a trust. It's a long process in China to build a trust. So for the moment, the product we are selling in China is BioPen. It has been several years that we have been promoting BioPen in China, and we start to see a growing interest for BioPen in China. We have been installing a BioPen in one of the top 3 universities in China. The sales process in China are very, very, very long. So it goes through bidding, and once you have won a bidding, there is additional maybe 1 year in order to be able to see your sale come through. But we really have good contact with our distributor who are participating to several bidding process. So we are really believe that this will really raise a lot in the future. And at some points, we will probably also give them the BioPixlar to distribute in China. But for the moment, we are focusing for the BioPen in China. And in Australia, we have found an extremely good distributor who has been working for many years in Australia and New Zealand. And we have been signing distribution agreement with them so they can distribute both BioPen and BioPixlar. And through them, we have been participating to a conference in Australia a few weeks ago, which has been leading to dozens of dialogues with several customers all around the world, not just in Australia. And the Australian distributor are doing an amazing work at following leads in Australia right now.
Well, thank you for that. And I have a follow-up question here. You showed a slide of your customers, 30% industry and 70% academia. Is that by necessity or by choice?
Oh, that's how it is. I know that often I get this question, why not selling more to pharma? We see that universities and research institutes are very, very important customer. First, because the sales process are long in university, is true, but in pharma companies it's the same. You don't sell as fast as it used to be maybe 15 years ago. So it's the same, and it goes through a budget, and it's not selling in 1 or 2 months as people would like to believe. But what is good with universities and research institutes is that it's a lot of key opinion leaders with a lot of good ideas about how they are going to use your product directly to fit their research. They are publishing in a very important scientific paper. And this is important because it's creating awareness, as I was saying, for our product. Because everybody, both in the academia but also in the pharma, are reading those scientific papers. So yes, it's a choice, it's a necessity, because this is also where our customers are, and it's very good, and we have extremely easy and ongoing dialogues always also with our customers in all this great university. We are following them very tightly.
Excellent. Well, Victoire, Merci beaucoup. Bonne Noël et
Je
bonne
vous en prie,
chance.
merci. Merci énormément. Bon Noël à vous aussi.
It was a true pleasure. Take care.
Bye.